Hello, welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be looking at some more IPOs that are coming up this week on Stocks FC. If you like this video, smash the like button and subscribe to the channel. If you've not signed up to Stocks FC yet, use the link in the description to get signed up today and you can start your portfolio ready for the new season. Okay then, let's get stuck into it guys. As I said, today I'm going to be reviewing all the latest IPOs that are getting launched on Stocks FC this week. This is of course Walker, Tarkowski, Tillemans and Estupinan. So I am going to be reviewing all these players in today's video, giving them a matrix rating and an overall Stocks FC rating in terms of an asset on Stocks FC. This overall rating takes into account the players, the matrix suitability, their international fixtures, the European fixtures, of course the club that they play for as well. So let's get stuck in then guys, starting with the first player. So the first player that I'm reviewing is Pervis Estupinan. He's a defender for Brighton and his nationality is Ecuadorian. His IPO date is on the 13th of July 2023 and his IPO price is going to be 42p per stock. You can see he mainly plays on the left of the defence. That's also represented on his heat map as well. He does take some corners as well from the right side of the field, as we can see here. So appearances last season then for Brighton. He had 35 appearances in the Premier League, 1 goal, 5 assists. FA Cup 4 appearances. He also got 2 assists in the FA Cup as well and 2 appearances in the EFL. Ecuador, he had 4 international friendlies, 1 goal, 2 assists. And he also had 3 games at the World Cup as well. Scores wise then, so these are the scores that he would have got last season on the Stocks FC scoring matrix. So he had 1 score in the 80 to 89 range, 2 scores in the 70 to 79, 3 scores in the 60 to 69, 5 scores in the 50 to 59 and 8 scores in the 40 to 49. So he did get some pretty decent high scores for a defender, 82, 77 and 71 were his highest scores last season. He's also got an average of 33 as well, all his scores combined, including international games and club games. So overall then, positives are his decent matrix suitability. European football of course next season with Brighton. His age as well is still fairly young. And the negative is that he plays for a poor national team. Obviously Ecuador are not the best in the South American qualifying I would say. And obviously a big tournament as well. They're probably not likely to go far. So overall though, pretty decent stock asset on Stocks FC. His matrix rating is 4 out of 5, which is a world class rating for a defender. So pretty decent on the scoring matrix I would say, pretty decent pick. Overall Stocks FC rating, I've given him a 7 out of 10, so very bullish on Estupinan. Of course he's quite young, matrix suitability is looking really good. He's also in Europe next season with Brighton. Now if he did play for a better international side, this rating would probably have been a little bit higher, but 7 out of 10 is still fantastic, so very bullish on the Brighton defender. Next up we've got Kyle Walker, of course of Manchester City, who was a defender for them. His IPO date was on the 10th of July 2023 and he's going for around 34p IPO price. Obviously the negatives here, that there has been some rumours with a move away from Manchester City, potentially to PSG, one of the rumoured teams. Now if he does move there, of course he won't be covered currently on Stocks FC, but they are looking to get the top 5 leagues covered on Stocks FC eventually. He does play on the right side of defence for Man City of course, as you can see here as well from his heat map. Last season then, he played quite a lot of games last season for Manchester City in the Premier League. He played 27 games. He also played 1 game in the EFL Cup and 5 games in the FA Cup as well with 1 assist. He also played in the Community Shield of course, and in the Champions League he had 5 appearances in the Champions League. He also played for England as well internationally, Euro qualification, he's had 3 games, 1 assist. He also had 5 games in the UEFA Nations League and 3 games at the World Cup. So next up then we've got the scores. Now this is not looking that great here. Now as you can see he's got no scores in the 60 plus range, which is a real shame. He had 4 scores in the 50 to 59 range though, which isn't too bad really, and 11 scores in the 40 to 49 range, so pretty average scores here from Kyle Walker. His highest top 3 scores last season would have been 58, 54 and 52. His average score was 27. Let's have a look at the overall picture then. So positives, he's got European football next season of course with Manchester City. It's also got the international utility with England. Negatives, there is suitability to the matrix, not really getting that very high scores, so not really that suited to the matrix, unfortunately. It's also his age is against him as well, as in his 30s now. That is another negative for Kyle Walker. Overall then, matrix rating a 3 out of 5, which is good, but probably not good enough most weeks when you want to get in this team of the weeks and team of the months. Stocks FC rating overall, give him a 5 out of 10. Obviously the positives he's got European football next season and England international. But what's letting him down is really his matrix suitability. Might be one worth picking up as an IPD on favourable fixtures. And in terms of that, it should do well. Next up we've got James Tarkowski of Everton, and is a defender for them of course. IPO date is going to be the 11th of July 2023. His IPO price is going to be 20p. Central defender for Everton. Does like to get up for the corners as well, as you can see here. Maybe try and get a headed goal. Last season for Everton, he started 38 games. 1 goal and 1 assist. 1 game in the FA Cup as well, and 1 game in the EFL Cup. Scores wise then, last season. So he had 1 score in the 70-79 range. 2 scores in the 60-69. 2 in the 50-59 and 2 in the 40-49. So as you can see, he has got some high scores, but not very consistently. Only 1 score in the 70-79 range, and then 2 between 40 and 60 in each category there. Highest scores last season was 72, 69 and 60, and his average was 22. The overall picture for Tarkowski then is looking very bleak, unfortunately. That's probably represented in his price. There's not really many positive to speak of here, unfortunately. Negatives, no European football. His age, it's around 30 now I believe. Poor matrix suitability, not really scoring regular high scores on a regular basis. And no international utility as well. So it's looking very bleak for Tarkowski, unfortunately. And the matrix rating that I've given him is 2.5 stars out of 5, which is not really good enough. Average rating, but not going to be getting you amongst the prizes. Stocks FC rating overall, with all these sort of trends going against him, he's got a 1 out of 10. If I was to own this stock, then I'd probably be looking to sell. Next up, we've got Yuri Tielemans of Aston Villa now. He's of course signed for them from Leicester as a midfielder and also plays for Belgium as well. IPO date is on the 12th of July 2023. His price is going to be 59p per stock. As you can see, he can play as a central midfielder, able to produce some key passes as well, and he can also play as a defensive midfielder as well, so it'll be interesting to see how Aston Villa utilise him. In terms of appearances last season for Leicester then, so in the Premier League he had 31 appearances, 3 goals, 2 assists. He had 2 games in the FA Cup as well, and 4 games in the EFL Cup and 1 goal. He also plays for Belgium as well. In the European qualifications, he started 2 games. In the UEFA Nations League, he had 5 appearances, 1 goal and 2 assists. And in the World Cup, he also had 3 appearances for Belgium as well. In terms of scores then from last season, he would have had 1 score in the 60-69 range, 3 scores in the 50-59 and 2 scores in the 40-49 range. Not too bad really when you consider he was playing for Leicester, who obviously had a terrible season last season and were subsequently relegated. His top 3 scores last season were 61, 55 and 55, and his average was 27. So looking at the positives then, of course he's got European football now next season with Aston Villa. He's also got the international utility with Belgium. He's also still fairly young as well, so a lot of positives to talk about there. The negatives is his average matrix suitability. That is of course based on last season's scores, but they could potentially improve this season. Now he's playing for a potentially better club. So overall then, matrix rating, I've given him a 3 out of 5 for his scoring suitability. Not too bad scores really, and they should get a little bit better this season hopefully with Aston Villa. Overall rating, I've given him a 6 out of 10. Fairly bullish on Tielemans. Of course, he's got the European football, international utility, and he's still fairly young. And his matrix suitability isn't too bad really. That could potentially improve. So that was all the latest IPOs reviewed and rated on Stocks FC. If you did like this video, smash the like button and subscribe to the channel. Of course, if you want to get involved with Stocks FC, you can do that by using the link in the description. You'll then be able to start building your portfolio ready for the new season, hoping your players perform and trying to get into those team of the weeks, team of the months to get your share of those dividends. You'll also get to compete in this team of the season as well, of course, if your players do manage to keep up their form throughout the season. Okay then, thanks for watching as always, and I'll see you again on the next video.